David, how is testing out there going today?
Yeah, sometimes testing is a little of a slow go and a little boring for the driver because we go and make a few laps, come in, all the engineers, they look through all the data, look through all of their information that they're trying to collect to make our race cars go faster. But ultimately, testing is a very important part of our sport because we can test new components, parts, and pieces, and we've got a lot of very smart people that are always trying to design new parts and pieces and ways to make our race cars go faster. So you get to come up, and it's good that we've got a lot of race cars here because rubber gets laid down. The track surface is warming up some with the sun popping out. So yeah, it's good process to collect some data and try to get more prepared for when we come back for the race.
What is it that's unique about testing here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway at this track specifically?
Every track's a little different, and really different about New Hampshire Motor Speedway is it's always cooler in the I guess the spring months when we come up and we can have an opportunity to test. But when we come back for that July race, it can be really, really warm. It can be in the mid 80s and the sun's out, and so the temperature of the racetrack and the asphalt really dictates how much rubber's laid down, how the cars handle. So it's up to our crew chief and engineer to kind of work through those different variables that we have and work through that. But ultimately, this is a track that stays pretty consistent throughout the year. And you have the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series and the different forms of racing series that come up here. So it's a good way for us to just make some laps and be a little more prepared when we come back.
Now, we've seen that rivalries between NASCAR drivers can get kind of heated sometimes, and recently one took to social media. Brad Keselowski had some words for Kyle Busch. Have you ever gotten into sort of some beef over social media with any of the other drivers?
I'm a pretty boring follower on social media. I don't really get into other people's business or express my opinions on things. I've gotten into a few confrontations and arguments, in the garage, maybe in the motorhome lot after a race. And I think that I try to address whoever I have a problem with. You talk it out and you move on. I'm not much for getting on social media and expressing my opinion to see what everybody else has to say. I'll keep it to myself and go talk to whoever I have a problem with.
Did you have any opinions on Kyle Busch's post-race press conference that Brad Keselowski seemed to take exception to?
I loved it. I mean, I think that it would be a boring world if we were all robots and we were exactly the same and we were all politically correct and we said the right things and we smiled and we were friendly and shook hands. I mean, I think that everybody's their own person. You can be a jerk, you can be a nice guy, you can be a wussy, you can be whatever, but if you can drive a race car, that's okay, and I think in our sport, sometimes we have gotten too politically correct and we all are worried about our sponsorship relationships and image and try to have that squeaky clean. But I think it's okay to be a little rough around the edges and act a fool. And if Kyle Busch wants to be a jerk and to be upset after a race, more power to him. I love it.
Keep it real. I like the attitude.
Yeah.
David, thank you.
Thank you.